Welcome back to London Beautiful Life, and today we're at Curzon, Soho for the world premiere of I Can Never Go Vegan. So what can you tell us that would be different compared to other vegan films that are out there? What would you say is different?
Having made vegan awareness films for over 32 years, this is embracing an arm around individuals that are vegan curious but don't quite know how to go about it. In my day, I've softened as I've got older, now I'm 56, but now in my day it was like, you moron, why the hell are you eating animals? Haven't you got a brain? Which made everyone put their head under the parapet. And now it's very much, what can you do to assist them and encourage them and inspire them to stop eating animals?
So what made you want to become a vegan? Like, is there anything that really triggered you to be like us?
I was one of those typical, haven't got a clue, didn't associate an animal with a slab of meat in the supermarket, and I lost my leg after I'd worked in the war in the former Yugoslavia, came back to England, crossed the street, police motorcycle, chopped my leg off, crushed my pelvis, punctured my lung, and my girlfriend said, you got to go vegan, and I was like, vegan schmegan? This is 32 years ago, and I went vegan, Hippocrates, West Palm Beach. 2 weeks later, healed, and then I made the first vegan McDonald's burger, the first Burger King burger, the first Domino's vegan cheese, and realised I needed to get the fast food addicts onto stage 2, and now we've got to move to stage 2 and 3.
I must admit, I've noticed at Greg's, I got a vegan sausage roll. I never do that, but I love fast food, and I've noticed the vegan options are much tastier, and they taste exactly the same as a normal option that I would get.
I mean, a lot of vegans, when you've been vegan a long time, you're on quinoa, you're on kale, you're on courgettes, you're not really doing the meat-free things. But I created V-Bites 30 years ago. We had 84 products in Holland & Barrett, and it was aimed at people like yourself that loved, fast food and were going to, fast food restaurants. So we said, we can't just expect them to jump from steak to broccoli. So let's do vegan steak, vegan burgers, vegan fish, vegan this. So I made things from konjac vegan. That was in Green King pubs for about 12 years with tartar sauce and mushy peas. So I made your family favourites. And then unfortunately, a lot of bad products came into the market from the big corporates, and it put people off. So if you want to eat good vegan alternatives, you eat V-Bites.
What was your inspiration behind this film?
So I was raised as a vegetarian, and at some point I realised I didn't really know why my parents chose to make that decision, and I decided when I was chatting with my brother one day, who was the producer and writer of the film, that it'd be quite interesting to explore that, because to kind of couple that, I also hear frequently that this term that people say of I could never go vegan because, and it preceded by something. And I was like, I wonder if there's an interesting narrative here to explore. One, why I was raised meat-free before I then later became vegan, and then two, why people utter this phrase, I could never go vegan, and explore the various reasons why. Whatever the reason might be, we then go and speak to a professional who can potentially answer that reason.
So what can we expect from this film, like compared to other? Because obviously there's quite a lot of now vegan films coming out. What is different compared to the others?
So I think with this film, we were very conscious of the fact that there are a lot of vegan documentaries, and we wanted to make it stand out. So there's a real good mix, because we explore so many different arguments against veganism. There's a mixture of everything in this film, and we wanted to put that together in a way that felt really concise, but also that had quite a bit of humour where necessary, some light relief, inspirational moments, whether it's the athletes or speaking to people who have achieved fantastic things as vegans, and then also the slightly more profound footage where we're looking at some of the more hard-hitting stuff, some of the welfare issues. There really is a bit of something for everyone, and that's where I think this doc maybe differs from other vegan docs.
What do you reckon we're going to expect? Because there's a lot of vegan documentaries out, so what do you think will be different compared to other films that we've seen in this film?
Knowing Tom, the star of the show and the director behind it and producer, and knowing his brother as well, I think you're going to find it's quite light-hearted in areas. They don't take themselves too seriously, so I think we're going to expect a real kind of variety of from emotion to light-hearted to informative. I think we're going to probably have honestly, I could put hands down, and this isn't because they're my friends, but hands down say this is probably going to be the greatest vegan documentary ever made.
Oh, amazing. I'm actually excited now. And then lastly, what can we expect from you in the future?
Oh, do you know what? I'm a huge advocate for well-being, plant-based eating. You know, I do so much. I'm actually working with Tom on a new documentary at the moment, which revolves around mental health and well-being. So that will, be soon to come out at some point in the near future, which we're really excited about. So for me, I'm just really passionate about living well, and so more documentaries about that, more kind of expert stuff on TV, but along with a sprinkling of showbiz, which will always be in my blood, which is the singing, dancing and acting. So yeah.
So obviously you're a vegan yourself. What made you become a vegan?
I mean, I've been vegan for over 25 years now, and it was always about animals for me. So for me, the most important thing is just to do no harm. But everyone has a different reason.
Have you ever, obviously doing this film, being one of the exec producers, have you seen or witnessed anything that's really shocked you to your core regarding animals or the planet?
I mean, I think, I was shocked when I first learned about, I was born vegetarian, so I've never eaten meat, but I did eat dairy and eggs when I was younger. And I was shocked to learn about the dairy and egg industry, and I think I've just continually been shocked since then that, first of all, it's legal to do what we do to animals, that it's encouraged, that it's a for-profit business, and that it is still going on in 2024, and we haven't even been able to reduce it yet at this point. I think the whole thing is shocking.
So how long has the whole process for I Can Never Go Vegan been, for you at least?
I mean, I was happy to view the film when it was like almost, I don't think it's in the exact same form as we'll see it tonight, but I think it's just really important to showcase a sort of protagonist journey through veganism, especially one who maybe has said I could never go vegan, because that's a sentiment that I think a lot of people relate to. And I think the most important thing, when you make a documentary like this is just to make it inclusive, because, if people are not interested in veganism, they're not going to watch something like this. But maybe if you make it a little bit more relatable, like, well, I'm never going vegan, then it might be a little bit of a door to at least just be like, well, these are the reasons why maybe you might.
So obviously working in showbiz, you've been in showbiz for many years now, has it always been hard when it came to food? Because obviously I work in TV and I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian, so for me I've got many options, but how was that for you being, if you're on set of a music video or something like that?
Yeah, I think when it comes to food options, no matter what job you're in, whether it's show business, whether you work in an office, whatever you do, I think it's about forward planning. And I also think that nowadays there's just been a burst of plant-based recipes, vegan options, many social media rabbit holes where you can look at different recipes. If you plan in advance, you can make things, and I always say anything you can do, I can do vegan. Anything you can. So if you're going to have a cheese sandwich for lunch, I can do a vegan cheese sandwich for lunch. So it's about, we've just come off tour, we've just been travelling around, and everywhere we went over the UK, there was a vegan option.
How was going on tour and go across the UK? What have you been up to actually, in fact?
Oh yeah, so me and my wife, who's here tonight, she's also vegan. We do a Soul Motown tribute show. It's called Danny Foster and the Big Soul Corporation. We've been touring with that for about 12 years. So, and we like to embody the vegan lifestyle while we're doing it.
Obviously, we still have those shows like The Voice on, but would you like to see a remake of your old show, the one you were on, Pop Stars? Yeah.
Would I like to see a remake of? Yeah, why not? Do you know what? I think it's about giving people a platform to share their talent. I think we were very lucky. I can't believe it was 23 years ago that Pure and Simple was #1, but we were very lucky to get a platform to put our talent out there and get signed and do it. So why shouldn't everyone else get that opportunity? So if they want to remake it, go for it.
What is the difference between this film and other vegan documentaries and films that we have seen, and what can you tell us? What are the difference, would you say?
I think this film allows us to be hopeful, hopeful that we can live a kinder, more compassionate life on this planet and treat animals with the dignity and respect that they deserve. And it shows how we can all thrive on this planet as individuals, but also that we can deal with the climate and ecological crisis at the same time. So I think it brings us hope, where some documentaries may leave us feeling a little hopeless.
If you could sum this film up in 3 words, how would you sum it up? For someone who has seen the film and in the film, how would you sum it up?
Hope for the future, that we can save the animals.